everyone, my name is Samir. I welcome you all to SevenMentor. Today we are going to talk something related to Cisco certification, and we are going to see some prerequisites and importance of the certification in market, and we are going to see actual mein like where we are going to use this certification and what are going to be the future things which can be opened up for you after completing this global certification. So today we are going to totally dedicate this session only to understand Cisco syllabus, importance of CCNA certification, why this certification is important and in which industry this certification is being used. So in short, we need to first of all understand the importance of a subject and importance of the certification, and for that we will see some syllabus, some prerequisites, and some introduction about the technical subjects and some information about what you can say like syllabus, topics what we are going to cover, and many more things to be covered. Okay, so let us start with that part directly by understanding what is CCNA, why we require CCNA, and why Cisco is conducting this certification at a global platform. Okay, so let us start with that part. Okay, so I will be writing something on my screen, so you can just note it down, some important points, so that can be used for your reference, like it can be easy for you to understand the subject and understand the importance of this topic. Okay, so let us start with that part. So let's understand what is Cisco and what is Cisco certification and why we require to understand this subject and what is the importance of this subject into a market. So when I say CCNA, it is basically a certification which is being conducted by Cisco. Okay, it is a certification which is conducted by Cisco. So when I say Cisco, it is actually a company or an organization that is basically manufacturing, okay, devices like router, devices like switches, okay, and they are manufacturing devices like firewall. Rather, they are manufacturing all kind of network devices which are basically being used for your IT industries. So when I talk about IT, we are talking about network, and when we are talking about network, we require devices, and when we are talking about devices, then this company is manufacturing many devices for all type of customer. Like they are having their devices from a series, and that series can be for your small office network, there can be a series for a large network, there can be a series of devices for your enterprise network, and there can be a series of devices for your cloud network. Okay, so when we talk about Cisco is basically manufacturing devices which are used in multiple industries, and that can be having their own network. It can be a small network, it can be a larger network, it can be a corporate network, it can be a data centers, or it can be a large cloud network. So from a small office to enterprise network to cloud network, they are having series of devices. Now Cisco is actually manufacturing these devices and they are selling it into market. And when they sell these devices into market, these devices are being used by the industries. And these industries, when they purchase these devices, they require engineers as well, so that they can configure, so that they can manage, and so that they can secure their network. Okay, so when I say Cisco, so Cisco is manufacturing these devices, they are selling this devices into the market, and when these industries are purchasing these devices, they will actually require engineers also, so that they can manage, secure, and configure the network. So Cisco is doing one more part over here. Other than selling this product, manufacturing this product, they are equally creating engineers for the market. And they are creating engineers for the market and for the industries by providing Cisco certification. Okay, so This is a simple process and a simple cycle. So what Cisco is doing exactly, Cisco as a company, they are manufacturing devices, they are manufacturing products like routers, switches, firewall, and when they are selling this product, IT industries or the industries where there is a requirement of a network setup, these all industries are purchasing that devices, and after purchasing that devices need to be secured and managed and configured. So what Cisco is doing, other than selling that product, they are also providing engineers, and that engineers they are providing by the certification courses. So they are conducting their own certification courses, and if a student complete this certification course, that will be like Cisco Certified Engineers. They will become Cisco Certified Engineers. And when they become Cisco Certified Engineers, and after taking this certification, when they go into market and apply for the job as a network engineer, okay, they will be recognized. Okay, so when they are doing this global certification, or when they are completing their education related to the certifications provided by the Cisco, and when they take this certificate and go into the market and apply for the job as a network engineer, these students will be recognized. These will be recognized as a network engineer, and they will be responsible for configuring and managing network devices. Okay, so when we talk about network devices, so these devices are Cisco devices. So industries are going to purchase that devices, and they are going to have their own requirement to manage and configure that devices, and for that they are going to take like they will be providing like JDs, they will be posting a job into the like job portals that we require a network engineer, and they will be maximally and mostly expecting that a student should be Cisco certified. Okay, so Cisco certified students are going to be capable of managing, securing and configuring Cisco devices, and then that whole cycle gets completed. Okay, so they are manufacturing, they are selling, and they are providing engineers also. Okay, so this cycle goes on. So they are just manufacturing the devices, selling the devices, giving the engineers, and these engineers are going to go in a market, and whenever there is a requirement of a network engineer, they will be applying for that, and industries are basically going to demand a student who are Cisco certified for their networking requirement. Okay, so this is a basic whole cycle that Cisco is conducting. So Cisco is a company which is not only manufacturing the product, not only selling, they are also giving you students or engineers for the market. Okay, now the question over here is very simple. Okay, like, is there other companies who are manufacturing devices? Okay, the answer is simply yes. Other than Cisco, there are companies like Dell, there are companies like HP, there are companies like what you can say like Netgear. Okay, and there are many like Juniper. These all companies are actually manufacturing devices, and they are equally selling that into the market. Okay, so other than Cisco, there are other companies also, there are competitors also who are actually manufacturing these devices and selling them into the market. So are there any special certifications to these companies, or are they providing any special certifications or certification program like Cisco? And the answer is equally yes. Many of the companies like HP or Juniper, they are also having their product, they are also selling their product, and they are also providing the global certifications. Okay, but when you talk about popularity, Cisco comes at the top. When it comes to popularity, Cisco always comes at the top. And one very important thing, this certification is always into a high demand. This certification by Cisco is always into high demand, and the demand of this certification is so high, and the reason is very simple, and the reason is their syllabus. Okay, their reason is syllabus. So Cisco is having one of the perfect syllabus. Okay, and these syllabus are designed by Cisco, and they are providing this certification in a level wise. Okay, and for that the most basic and the entry level paper is CCNA. The most basic and the entry level and the most important certification is CCNA. So what I'm trying to say is that these companies are also having their devices, they are also having their certification, but when it comes to popularity, we are talking about Cisco, and it is simply, the reason is very simple. Cisco is more popular because of their syllabus. Okay, so when we talk about this syllabus, I say this syllabus is 100% perfect syllabus, and if you want to enter or start your career as a network engineer, CCNA is going to be the most important and a popular certification. Okay, so when I talk about Cisco certification, their syllabus is perfect, and because of that it is having high popularity. Now let me explain how. When there is any topic, random topic, okay, and if that topic is in your CCNA or into your Cisco syllabus, okay, if there is any topic, a random topic, if it is in a Cisco or CCNA certification, it means that it is industry standard. It is industry standard means what? If any topic is into a syllabus or if any subject is into the syllabus of Cisco, it means that technology is live into network, or that technology is live into market, or that technology is live into industry. If any topic is being removed from the syllabus, if any random topic is being removed, because Cisco comes with the revise, they always revise their syllabus, and if any topic they are removing from the syllabus, it means that technology is outdated, and outdated means it is no more industry standard. Okay, so if that particular topic is out of a syllabus, they have removed from the syllabus, and if it is removed, it means that your syllabus is removing that topic, and the reason is it is an outdated. It is no more used into industry standard, it is no more used into any kind of network or any kind of data center. So simple means, if I talk about a summary, if I take a summary, it means that if it is there in a syllabus, it is there into market. If it is out of syllabus, it is not into the market. So it is simply called as 100% job oriented and industry standard subject. Okay, so it is 100% industry oriented subject. Okay, so it is very simple, and it is very logical. So if a technology is outdated, it is having no point in learning, so Cisco is going to simply remove it, and when it is going to upgrade the syllabus, they are going to add the new topics, a new subject or a new technology which is into current market or which is going to be into a future market. So that makes your syllabus 100% job oriented and 100% industry standard. So make sure that whenever a Cisco is upgrading its syllabus, they are going to 100% make it industry oriented. Okay, so that makes your certification popular. So when it comes to popularity, we are talking about a subject, and that subject is your Cisco subject or the syllabus designed by your Cisco. Okay, so when we talk about your syllabus, so this is a thing what I need to explain. Okay, so in short, what I can revise, like a Cisco is manufacturing devices, Cisco is selling that devices into market. These devices are being used or purchased by the industries, and they require engineers to configure and manage. So Cisco is equally providing the engineers by providing certifications. These certifications are being taught by the institute. Students are going to take admission, they are going to learn the syllabus, and after learning the syllabus, they are going to be eligible to work as a network engineer. So this syllabus is more popular, and one thing what I cleared, that other than Cisco, there are multiple companies who are going to manufacture the device, and they also have their certification. But when it comes to popularity, it becomes Cisco as more popular because their syllabus is so perfect that their syllabus is going to have only that topic that are industry standard, and if that is not an industry standard, that topic will not into the subject also, or not into the syllabus also. So this is one simple thing what you need to understand, and that is Cisco is manufacturing devices, selling the products and providing engineers also. And one very important thing, when you look at any job description, when there is a job description, you go to any portal like naukri.com or any kind of portal where there is a requirement of engineers. So when any company is posting any job for L0, L1 or L2 engineer, okay, for level 1, level 2 and level 3, when they are posting the position like we require a network engineer, so they will be providing a job description that they require a knowledge of OSI model, they should have a knowledge about TCP, they should have a knowledge about IP, they should have a knowledge about switches, they should have a knowledge about router and many more. But at the end, when they go for eligibility, they are going to say that you require to be a graduate, you require to be a graduate from any computers or any background, but they will say recommended that you should be Cisco certified. Okay, so whenever you go for random, like today also, if you can open any job portal like Indeed, you can go for Naukri, you can go for any random profile, and where you check for the openings for your network engineer level 0, level 1, level 2, and when you look at that portal and when you learn from that job description is saying some subject name, some topic name, but when it comes to the criteria, they will be looking for graduate, and with graduation they will be demanding Cisco certification. So the thing is that if they are demanding Cisco certificate, does that mean that company is only having Cisco devices? It is not going to be so. Even if your company is having Cisco or non-Cisco, they will be demanding certificate, and that is going to be Cisco certified. So whenever you go for any industry, when you go for any job, when you learn from any job description, they will be talking about the topics and the technologies, they will be talking about the selection criteria of graduation, but end they will be saying that you should be certified, and they will be asking for Cisco certification. So Cisco certification is so popular, it is so perfect that if you complete this certification in a proper format, technically and logically, okay, if you complete this subject technically and logically, at end of the day you can be able to configure and manage your Cisco devices as well as non-Cisco devices. 100% non-Cisco is going to have some different kind of what you can say interface or some different kind of command, but logic what you are going to learn from this syllabus is going to be so perfect and so accurate that within a short period of time, with some basic extra training, you will be also able to configure non-Cisco devices as well. So that makes your Cisco certification popular, and that makes your Cisco certification so like demanding into the market, like they will be having either Cisco device or they may be having non-Cisco, but the common thing is that they will be requiring Cisco certified engineers. So I hope you understand this, and this is what we need to understand now. Now the thing is that when Cisco is manufacturing devices, they are going to sell it as well. So when they are going to sell it, they are going to sell it for multiple industries, and the industries are going to be many. Like let me explain. Okay, so when I talk about industries who are going to purchase this product, so they can be industries like it can be any manufacturing industry, it can be any medical, it can be any organization like educational institutes, it can be defense, it can be like any government organization, it can be any non-government organization. Rather, what you can say, it can be any they can be random, like you go for any random institute nowadays. It can be your bank, it can be any XYZ institute. Everybody is requiring network now. Every industry, it can be manufacturing, it can be medical, service industry, any IT industry, you go for any random industry, they are requiring network. Without network today nothing is possible. So we require network, and for network 100% you require network devices, and 100% where it comes with network devices you require engineer, and 100% when we talk about engineer we are talking about certification. So once you complete your Cisco certification, you can work into the industries that can be manufacturing, medical, educational, bank, defense, government, non-governments, any small to big scale industry. any small to big scale industry. Even I can talk about ISP also, internet service provider. There are data centers. You can talk about cloud network also. You can talk about any random network. Wherever there is a network, wherever the organization is having their network, they are going to have their own devices, and 100% when it comes to devices, you require engineer, and that makes demanding. This subject now becomes demanding because more network is going to grow, more devices are going to sell, and more there is going to be requirement of engineering. So this field is never going to have any kind of recession. It is always going to be in a demand. Now when we talk about, for example, you look at like 5G network. When we talk about 5G is getting more popular. In few days, maybe in future, we are going to become within 6G network. Past we were talking about 4G networks. Now when we talk about 4G, 5G or 6G network, and when we talk about network, it basically calls network engineer. Okay, so the more your data network, more your 5G, 4G grows, the more your cellular network is going to explore, the more there is going to be requirement of network, and the more is going to be requirement of network engineers. So engineers are going to be required, but not only engineers, we will be requiring skilled engineers. And Cisco is going to take care with its syllabus that every student who is going to learn their syllabus in a proper format, he is going to become a skilled engineer. So whenever there is growth in a network, you talk about like UPI payments. Nowadays we are totally dependent upon UPI. We are not talking about a cash transaction, we are talking about cashless. So when we are talking about cashless, we are talking about network, and the more demand is going to be UPI. For that you will be requiring high speed network, and for that you will be requiring engineers to control it. So there is one more scope. Next thing, we are also talking about OTT platforms. We are talking about Netflix, we are talking about your Jio Hotstars and many. So when we are talking about this OTT platform, they are available at your home because of network, because of fiber optic network. So the more network is going to grow, more OTT platforms are going to get popular, the more is going to be the requirement of network, and again you will be requiring skilled engineers. So these are the industries where you have opportunity to work once you complete your global certifications or once you complete your Cisco certification track. So it is manufacturing, medical, XYZ industries, defense. You talk about ISP, you talk about cellular network, you talk about OTT platforms. Each and everything now is going to be on a network, and here we require network engineers compulsory. Now the latest thing what we need to talk about is your AI. So we talk about AI also. Okay, so we talk about AI. So when I talk about artificial intelligence, okay, like we talk about ChatGPT, we talk about your DeepSeek, you talk about many tools or many AI technologies. So these AI are available at your doorstep now. You have the access to many AI tools, many AI options, and they are all available with you because of network. Now you can just imagine one thing: if you shut down the network, totally 100%, if you shut down the network, your AI is also not going to get operated. You will not be able to get any AI technology at your doorstep, at your phone. You will not be able to get any OTT platform. You will not be able to get access to any cloud services. You will not be able to get access even to any website or email. So 100% every technology on which human is reliable now is totally reliable on network. So if you remove networking, your humans, every human will be like it will be like going hundreds and hundreds of years back. They will not be able to use any kind of thing. So network is a backbone for every technology. And when it comes to network, we need to understand the subject in very detail. And when you understand this subject in very detail, then and only then remaining subjects will be good for you. So what does that mean? Network and knowledge about network, if you have in a perfect way, okay, then your further IT certification, whatever you plan, will be easy for you. So unless and until you don't understand network in a detailed way, unless and until you don't understand the network in a proper format, you will not be able to understand what do you mean by server network. You will not be able to understand cloud network. You will not be able to understand any kind of like what you can say network security. You will not be able to understand DevOps. You will not be able to understand cyber security, or what you can say SOC. So when you need to understand your subjects like server, subjects like cloud, subject like security, DevOps, cyber security, SOC, so each and every subject what you talk over here, these all subjects are going to have a prerequisite, and that prerequisite will be networking knowledge. And to understand network, the best possible way is to do certification by Cisco. I was talking about like we are talking about like certification and importance of Cisco. Okay, so as I said, like if any person or any student want to start a career into any random networking field, it can be server, cloud, security, DevOps, cyber security. You want to start as a SOC engineer, so you require networking knowledge. So I said, like if you want to start networking and understand network, one of the best way to start and understand networking is going to be understanding Cisco. Cisco syllabus is so perfect, Cisco syllabus so up to date, Cisco syllabus flow, Cisco syllabus and their level of certification, division of certifications, what I can say, like they are perfect into all, they are perfect into their syllabus, and that actually make this certificate popular, and this becomes as a prerequisite for every certification course. So in future, if you are planning to become as a security, as a server, as a cloud engineer, remember one very important thing, and that is going to be understanding network. And again, I am saying, if you want to understand network, one of the best possible way to understand network is doing Cisco certification. Okay, so let us go and understand in detail like how your Cisco certification is required for these all subjects. I will explain and try to explain this into very short. Okay, so just understand the things, and in a very simple way I will try to explain it. For example, I am talking about a cloud engineer, okay, or I am trying to be a DevOps engineer. Okay, we are talking about cloud and we are talking about DevOps, and these are all related to your services. Okay, now when we talk about DevOps, when we talk about cloud, we talk about companies like AWS, like Amazon, that is AWS certification. We talk about what you can say Google, and when we talk about like GCP, or when we talk about Microsoft, and when we talk about Azure. So these are the cloud services which are provided basically by this organization or by these companies. And now when we talk about cloud, in short, these are basically some kind of data centers. They are existing on the earth. Many of the people try to say that cloud is an imaginary world, cloud is a virtual world, cloud is not existing, it is just virtual. 100%. Cloud is virtual for you, but for these companies, cloud is basically a physical data center, and they need to set up that data centers, and for that data centers they will be requiring all many devices like servers, routers, switches, firewall, cable, rack setups, and hundreds and millions of things. Okay, so when I say cloud as a service, when it is available for the customer, it looks like it is virtual. 100%, it is available virtually for you. And when we talk about virtual, it is available for customer, but when we talk about these industries who are providing cloud service, they actually need to build data centers. And for data centers, they require all possible things like your routers, they will be requiring switches, they will be requiring firewall, they will be requiring servers. So each and everything is required over there. So unless and until you don't have all these physical setup, your cloud will not be created, and that will not be available for you as a customer. So for cloud, you require network, and to make that possible, you require devices. Now, we are not the users who are going to be just the customer. We are not going to be only the customer कि हम लोग ने like we are just taking a services from the cloud, but we are trying to become an engineer, cloud engineer. We are trying to become a cloud engineer by doing the certifications of AWS, GCP and Azure. So when you are becoming a cloud engineer, you are actually planning to make a cloud architect, or rather you are planning to deploy a cloud, okay, for the industry. And when it comes to deployment, or when it comes to your designing of a cloud, 100% you will be requiring a network knowledge. So in a short way, what I am trying to tell you is that when these industries are providing cloud services, they are available to customer in a virtual way. But to make them available into virtual way, they need to set up a cloud. And when they set up a cloud, they require devices, routers and switches. Okay, so for a customer it is a virtual, but for this industry they need to physically set up data centers, and these data centers are now available for the customer in a virtual format. That is a different part. But I am talking not like hum log yahan pe ya we over here are not going to be only a cloud customer. We are actually going to work into industry as a cloud engineer, as a DevOps engineer, as a cloud architect engineer, where you are going to deploy the cloud for the industries. And when it comes to deployment of a cloud, we need to understand exactly about the network first of all. Equally, you need to understand what do you mean by a Linux operating system and some knowledge about Microsoft operating system. Okay, so when it comes to deployment of a cloud, when it comes to network designing, or like when we talk about your cloud architects, we actually are learning this certification like Azure, we are learning about GCPs and AWS. And when we are learning this, our target is like we are going to work for a company for deployment and for doing the cloud architect. And for doing deployment, for deploying the network, deploying the cloud, making the cloud available for the industries, we actually need to have a knowledge about network, we actually need to have a knowledge about Linux operating system and the part of operating systems like Microsoft. So we are not going to be just a customer of a cloud, we are going to be the provider for the cloud. We are going to provide these cloud services for the industry. And when it comes to deployment and when it comes to architect, we should and we must have a knowledge about network. We should and we must have a knowledge about server operating system. Then and only then you can properly deploy and plan the network architect and a cloud architect, and then on that cloud industry is going to do the business. Okay, so why a company is going to hire cloud engineer? Because they require to set their data centers into cloud, and when they need to deploy their whole data center into cloud, they will be requiring cloud engineers. But when it comes to requirement of cloud engineer, only doing the certification of cloud is not going to help. So for proper deployment and for proper technical deployment of a cloud, you should and must have a knowledge about network, and you should and must have a knowledge about Linux and server operating systems. Okay, so in short, I just try to explain why we require network when it comes to making a certification or making your career as a cloud or DevOps engineer. That is one part. Second, if I want to start a career as a cyber security expert, okay, we are not planning for a cyber security, I want to become a SOC engineer. So I am planning to become a cyber security expert or a SOC engineer. So when we talk about this, we are actually talking about securing a network. And when we talk about securing a network, we are actually securing a network. So first we need to understand the network. Okay, so when I'm planning to secure a network, I need to first understand what is a network. So for understanding a network, again, you have one of the most important certification, that is going to be your Cisco certification. So when I talk about cyber security, when I talk about SOC, when I talk about your security and securing a network, the first and the most important thing what you need to understand is that you need to understand the network, then only you can secure the network. That is a basic logic. So unless and until you don't understand what is a good for network, unless and until you don't understand what is a bad for network, you will not be you will not be able to provide a better security. So for understanding or for completing your career or starting your career as a cyber security expert or a SOC engineer, 100% you are going to require a network knowledge. Okay, so in short, unless and until you don't understand network, जब तक हमें network नहीं पता है, till that, like, you will not be able to actually understand like how you are going to secure. So you need to understand in and out of a network, then you can work as a cyber security or a SOC engineer. Okay, so that is one thing. Next, if you want to, like, what I can say, like, further careers, like, I want to become a network security engineer, like a network security engineer. Okay, so cyber security is one part, network security is another part. So if you want to become a network security engineer, like securing a whole network, like with the help of firewall. Okay, so unless and until, again, unless and until you don't understand what do you mean by a network, what are the threats to the network, what are the threats that can destroy the network or that can bring down the productivity of your network or that can leak your whole data. Okay, so privacy क्या होती है, encryptions, what do you mean by protocols, what do you mean by network, unless and until you don't understand in and out of a network, again you will not be able to secure a network. So cyber security, network security, cloud security, you're talking about AI security, you're talking about your cloud, you're talking about your DevOps, you're talking about each and everything requires a basic knowledge of network. Okay, so unless and until you don't understand network, you will not be able to understand any, or you will not be able to start your career as any random network engineer or rather any SOC engineer or any kind of security engineer. Okay, so I'm just trying to explain or just trying to tell you that networking is prime for everything, and make sure that whenever you are planning to start your career, start it by understanding networking, and for understanding networking, Cisco can be the best and the only option for you. Okay, so this is all what I'm trying to convince you, or what I'm trying to explain you कि why networking is requirement and why Cisco certification is in a demand. Okay, so to start a career as any random future specialization into anything, make sure कि आपका network clear है, you have your networking concept clear. Okay, so when I talk about Cisco now, okay, so when I'm saying Cisco, okay, when I'm talking about Cisco, when I'm talking about CCNA, तो जब मैं networking और CCNA की बात कर रहा हूँ, तो we need to understand what Cisco is providing exactly, and what subjects and what topics is your Cisco CCNA certification going to cover, and what can be done after completing CCNA. Okay, so if you want to become, or if you want to make a whole career, your whole career as a network engineer, so what you can do your CCNA certification, but what we will try to understand now, the syllabus of CCNA, and what we are going to cover into the syllabus, like what SevenMentor is going to provide you. Okay, what your SevenMentor is going to provide in your Cisco certification, what will be the flow of the syllabus, what all topics from the basic to advanced will be covered. So in this section, what we will try to understand, we will try to understand the syllabus and what can be done after completing your CCNA certification, and what all branches are open or will be open in front of you after completing your Cisco certification. Okay, so till now, from the starting till now, what I have discussed, we can have a quick revision. Okay, so I said CCNA, I talked about Cisco as a company, manufacturing devices, selling the products, giving your engineers, providing Cisco certification. These are in high demand, as I said, like other companies, any company who are manufacturing devices, they are also having their certification, but they are not as popular as Cisco. The syllabus is the reason, perfection is the reason, up-to-date syllabus, industry-oriented, subject is always updated, they are going to have the versions of their syllabus. So if a subject is going to have that particular technology, it means it is into industry. If it is not, it is going to be removed from the syllabus. So it is making it 100% job oriented, and it is making it more popular. Whenever I said, now further I said, like if there is any job description, any opening for network engineer, they will always give you all technical things what a student should know, but at the end they will always write you should be Cisco certified. Again I said, that makes a certification high demand. Even if the company is using Cisco devices or non-Cisco devices, they will be always demanding for Cisco certified engineer. and that is more popular, and that if you learn it more in a very precise way, in a detailed way, in a very technical and in a logical way, you will be able to configure and manage Cisco as well as non-Cisco devices very easily. Now I said that Cisco devices are used into multi-industries. It can be manufacturing, it can be defense, it can be government, banking, and everywhere. So in every organization where there is a network, they will be requiring a network engineer. So anywhere right now, if you go for OTT platforms, I said for your cellular network, I talked about any random thing, each and everything is totally dependent upon network, and the more network grows, the more there is a requirement of skilled engineer. And the best way to become a skilled engineer in networking is doing your Cisco certification. Okay. Then I tried to say and I had to explain you कि if you want to start a career, as any random, in any random subject or technology, the best thing is going to be network. And to understand network, the best thing is going to understand Cisco certification. Then I said why your cloud and DevOps engineer should have networking knowledge. Then I said why your cybersecurity expert requires a knowledge of network, and then I said why a network security engineer requires a networking knowledge. Okay, so these all things is like any random certification. I said CCNA or Cisco certification is a prerequisite. Okay, now let us try to understand what SevenMentor is going to provide to complete your CCNA certification first of all. Then I will talk about after CCNA what all certifications you can complete into your career option. Okay, so when we talk about this, we can talk about our syllabus. So the Cisco certification, what CCNA is going to cover is your CCNA 200-301 syllabus. So this is a syllabus which is being covered by Cisco, and this is being covered by Cisco, and this is the current exam code. We may be expecting like by the end of 2025 or by the start of 2026, they are coming up with new syllabus, and that new syllabus is going to have added topics related to artificial intelligence. So they are going to have CCNA with AI. So they are having their some planning, okay, and that some planning what you can expect at the end of this year or maybe the start of 2026, that is going to be some technologies related to artificial intelligence. Okay, so they may be coming up with that, but let us try to understand like in SevenMentors when we are starting a Cisco certification or when we are doing a syllabus of CCNA, what all things we are going to cover. So we are going to cover first of all introduction to your computer hardware. Okay, so when we come to know like there are students who are having technical, there are students who are having non-technical background, there are some from BA, BCom or BSc, so they are not having much knowledge about their computers. So what we need to understand, we need to first cover the introduction about computer hardware. So in this we are going to cover major topics, okay, and that major topics is going to be related to power supply, related to your storages, related to your CPUs and GPU, related to input-output ports, information about printers, devices, and difference between your routers, difference between about your laptop, servers and desktop. We are going to more concentrate over here on data center concepts and troubleshooting of your computer hardware. Now, this subject is not directly related to CCNA, but this is must. This is the prime thing what you need to understand before understanding network. And many of the students are from technical, like they are doing their graduation in engineering and all, so they are having some basic knowledge, but this knowledge is going to be compulsory if you are planning to start your networking career. So what we are going to do here in SevenMentor, we are going to have a 14 hours syllabus, that is going to be 7 to 8 days syllabus. Over there we are going to cover up all the details regarding your network, and that is going to be related to your computer hardware. Over here we are going to cover major topics, and these major topics are going to be very informative, and that is going to be an like additional to your knowledge, and that will really be very helpful when it comes to cloud and when it comes to networking. Okay, so that is going to cover a 14-hour syllabus of computer hardware. Further, we are going to have a 14-hour syllabus understanding server operating systems and client operating system with some practicals. So we are going to cover up related to client, server, domain network. What do you mean by Active Directory? We are going to understand Active Directory and troubleshootings of your operating system, booting process of your operating system, and more important, we are going to see some practicals related to Windows tools. That tools are going to be disk management, RAID configurations, what do you mean by partition, what do you mean by device driver, what do you mean by your disk cleanup tools, run prompt, command prompts, control panels, what do you mean by file systems, what is a user, what are the groups. So these all things are equally important for your cloud and for your further topics of your security. Unless and until you don't understand the computer hardware, unless and until you don't understand what do you mean by operating system and their tools, you will not be able to create their network also. So we need to first understand hardware, then we are going to understand operating system, and this is again going to be a 14 hours syllabus. These are going to cover very selective topics, and it is going to be also equally and very informative. So once you complete your 14-hour syllabus of hardware, once you complete 14-hour syllabus of your operating system, then we are going to start with the basics of computer network. This is going to be 8 topic syllabus, and these 8 topics are a sequential topic. And over here we have divided and we have designed this syllabus looking at the standards and looking at the prerequisites of Cisco certification. In this 8 topic, this is going to be near about 1 month syllabus, and this 1 month syllabus is going to cover in and out about the basics of network. Whenever you are understanding Cisco, for understanding Cisco, you should have basics of network. If I start directly Cisco certification off with the syllabus of CCNA, it is going to be very tough for you. So to make it understandable, to make it easy for every kind of crowd, it can be technical, it can be non-technical student, it can be students from BA, BCom, BSc. There are many students coming from civil background as well. So we need to take care about them also. So if I directly start Cisco syllabus, it is going to be really tough to understand. So this is the plan. So we are going to start hardware, operating system, and then basics of network. Over here we are going to cover basics of network. We are going to cover up network media, details about media like fiber optic cables, coaxial cable, their crimping, their characteristics, and over here we are going to cover up many of the IoT platforms, Internet of Things. We are going to talk about CCTVs, we are going to talk about DVR, NVR, we are going to talk about biometric attendance machine, we are going to talk about EPBX system, and also we are going to talk about voice over IP. So there are many things to be covered over here in media topic. Then after we are going to cover devices topic. In these devices we are going to see all devices like introduction to routers, switches, firewall, wireless devices, wired devices, and their use, their case studies, what are the different subversions of their devices, advantages of the devices, everything about them. Major topic what we are going to cover in this is going to be the internet types, 2G, 3G network, broadband, what do you mean by lease line networks, what do you mean by wireless networks, and many more. After that it is going to cover network topologies. In this we are going to cover, like many of them knows what is bus, what is star topology, ring topology, but we are going to concentrate more on their architects. Network architect, these are architects like 2-tier architect, 3-tier architect, spine and leaf architect, and also architect related to wireless network. What are the IEEE standard, what is a redundancy and load balancing into network, what is a cloud network, what is a data center network, and their architects. So this is going to be really important and informative topic. Next we are going to start with the logical network. Logical network means understanding their protocols and addressing. We are going to understand TCP/IP protocol stack. In this we are going to cover major protocols and understanding of protocol, what are the different protocols and what are their roles and responsibilities, and then we are going to cover topic, and that is going to be network addressing. One of the most important topic, that is going to be IP version 4 and MAC addresses. In this we are going to understand number system, decimal number, binary number, hexadecimal number, their conversion method, in and out about IP version 4, understanding of network IDs, subnetwork IDs, understanding of host ID, यानी we are going to cover major and most things about your addressing. This becomes the most important topic of your networking. Unless and until you don't understand addressing, your further networking concept will be of no use. After understanding addresses, we are going to cover 3 major protocols, 3 major servers, that is DNS, DHCP, and a protocol called as ARP. These are the major protocols which we need to understand when it comes to networking. We will go in detail about DNS, in detail about DHCP, and this is going to be a syllabus which will be ending up to the last OSI model. OSI model is actually the first topic of CCNA syllabus according to Cisco. Again I am saying, according to Cisco, according to CCNA syllabus, according to 200-301 syllabus, this is the first topic, but we are covering this as a basic. OSI model is one of the most important theory which each and every networking student should know, and when it comes to interview, maximum questions are going to be from this. Rather I will say, when a student as a fresher appears for interview, the maximum topics and maximum questions will be asked from this syllabus. Okay, this is actually basic, but this is going to be your interview preparation. So each and every question you can give a try if you go randomly for an interview, and when you go for the questions, they will be maximally asking questions from these 8 topics. And after they judge that you are okay with this 8 topic, then they will further ask questions about routing and switching. So these are the topics which are the most, and it is designed very wisely, and we are going to cover each and every in and out about this basic, and this is going to be whole 1 month syllabus. And after completing this, you will be able to understand computer hardware, data centers, server operating systems, client operating systems, basic requirements of network, protocols and everything. And this is going to be the syllabus which is going to make you prepare for real interviews. Okay, so after you complete this basic, after your confidence about that you are understanding network, then we can understand and start with Cisco syllabus. Now let me clear one very important thing. The syllabus is designed by the syllabus for CCNA has been designed by Cisco. The sequence they follow is different, but in SevenMentor what we have done, we have resequenced the syllabus. That means the syllabus is going to be complete part of Cisco. We are not going to modify that syllabus, but we have modified the sequence of the syllabus. And the reason of modifying the sequence is making this subject more easier and making it more easier to be understood by your students who are technical as well as non-technical. So CCNA syllabus is been designed by Cisco, and the sequence of CCNA syllabus is different, but what we take in SevenMentor is our own sequence, and the sequence goes like this. First we are going to understand subnetting, then we are going to start with the router. First we are going to understand router hardware, introduction to hardware, introduction to the hardware as external devices, what are they, and internal components of your router hardware. Once you understood internal and external components of router, then we are going to start with router operating system. Router operating system is going to cover each and everything: introduction to the operating system, command line interface, modes of operating system, backup and recovery of your operating system, password configuration, booting process, troubleshooting of your router, physical connectivity of your router, interface configurations, troubleshootings of your interface. That means each and everything which is required to understand and configure a router at advanced level, these are going to be covered up first. Once you understand this, then we are going to start with the routing concept, where you are going to understand dynamic routing, static routing, default routing, and routing protocols like RIP, OSPF, EIGRP, and some introduction to your border gateway protocol. Once you complete OSPF, this is going to complete the whole section of router. Means first we have understood subnetting, and then in total we are understanding router, routing protocols and routing technique. Once this is completed, then we are going to turn on to switches. The whole syllabus of switches, again same way, understanding of switches hardware, internal and external component. Here we are going to understand Cisco operating system, that is a switch operating system. Same way, backup, recovery, password, booting process, troubleshooting of your switches, physical connectivity of your switches and everything. Once you complete your switches, hardware, operating system and introduction, then we are going to cover Cisco switching technologies like port security, VLAN, VTP, inter-VLAN routing, IEEE encapsulations. We are going to understand redundancy and load balancing into switch architect, STP protocols and ether channel. So this is whole going to cover 2 major sections about Cisco syllabus. One is routing and one is switching. Now once you complete switching, I will make sure that we are going to take topics and we are going to take sessions related to resume building. We are going to take session for your interview preparation, so that after this you can be able to at least attend interviews. And again, after understanding routing and switching, you are really ready to go in industry and appear for interviews. Okay, but I will recommend that first complete the whole syllabus, then you can go for the interview. Now what after the switches? After completing switches, we are going to have services topic, that is going to be access control list, that is a security topic of your CCNA syllabus. Network address translator, that is going to be translations of public and private IP, and it is directly related to internet and WAN. Then we are going to cover up IP version 6, in and out about IP version 6, configurations of IP version 6, routing over IP version 6 and all. After that, we are going to check out the topic called as quality of service, which is directly related to voice over internet protocol. How you are going to manage VoIP data with your general data, prioritization of a data, sequencing of a data, how you are going to make your data flow in a sequence, how you are going to make your data like voice or runtime data to be delivered faster, bandwidth management, queue management, and many more things to be covered over here. After this, there is a topic called as a WAN technology. So this is access control list, network address translator, IP version 6, quality of service. So these are major topics into the services. Next topic is going to be a WAN technologies, talking about WAN, technologies of the WAN, what are VPNs, different types of VPN, encapsulation protocol, and encryption protocol, authentication protocols. VPN is the demanding technology. So VPN is a technology which is allowing many of the people to work from home. They are having the hybrid way of working. So VPN is one of the most secure technology, and here we are going to cover up into this WAN topic. Next is going to be a network security, introduction about firewalls, introduction about the security features and security protocol. Last is going to be the topic that is going to be your wireless network, understanding about wireless protocols, WEP protocol, WPA protocol, message integrity protocols, and many more. And last is going to be your network automation. Automation is a trendy subject. Over here, multiple tasks can be done with a single click. These are creating scripts with YML, creating scripts with XML and JSON. So introduction to your scripting language, introduction to your network automation, advantages of network automation, what do you mean by Ansible and all. So this is going to cover the last topic of your Cisco certification. Over here, according to 200.301, there are some more topics, and that topics are number 1, they have added introduction to cloud, and number 2, IP services. Okay, so at the end they are going to have introduction to the cloud, and they are going to have one topic added into the new syllabus, and that is going to be your IP services. Okay, so this is going to be the whole syllabus for CCNA, and the exam code is 200.301. Okay, so this is how we are going to cover our syllabus, and this is going to be the sequence. So in short, if I can cover, we are going to first understand computer hardware, then we are going to understand operating system, then we are going to understand basics of network. This is going to be on an average 1 or 1.5 month syllabus, and then we are going to cover up whole core syllabus of Cisco, and that core syllabus is going to be having our own sequence, but the subject and the topics is going to be all by Cisco. We can't modify the syllabus, but for understanding and making it easy, we have changed the sequence of the syllabus. Okay, so this is all what we need to learn, or this is what we are going to learn into your Cisco. And now once you complete your CCNA certification, you can have your career as cloud engineer, as you can start your career as a server or a cloud, a server engineers. You can start a career into your like DevOps. You can now start a career as cybersecurity engineer, or that we can call it as a SOC. If you want to be into network, you're not interested in cloud, you're not interested into Linux, you're not interested into DevOps or cybersecurity all, you can start your career as a further. After CCNA, you can complete your CCNP certifications, that is Cisco Certified Network Professional. More detailed knowledge about your routing, switching, firewall, security, voice network, wireless network, and many more. The CCNA can be continued with CCNP, and further you can continue it with CCIE also. So Cisco itself is having a huge numbers of certificate, and they are having their own hierarchical model. And if you start, and you can start with CCNA, and further you have an opportunity to start as a cloud, Linux, DevOps, cybersecurity. You can go into depth about network by doing CCNP, more detailed CCIE also. You can become network security engineer. Also, you can start a career as network security engineer by completing your certifications related to firewall. So there are n number of branches that will be opened in front of you. There are n number of branches that will be opened in front of you once you complete your Cisco certification. And the most important thing, when we are learning Cisco certification from SevenMentor, we are actually talking about covering the basic information about hardware, operating system, and your network. Okay, so when we are taking batches for Cisco, we are not directly starting with a core syllabus. We are actually giving 1.5 month syllabus related to hardware, operating system, and basics of network. Then we are going to start with CCNA. So once your CCNA is perfect, once your CCNA and your CCNA certification is perfect, you will by default get an confidence, and you will by default get a way what you need to do as a further. So this is going to be the major certification and a major subject, and once you become better into this, you will by default understand what you need to do. It can be network security, further as a CCNP, Cisco Certified Network Professional, cloud, and many more certifications. Okay, so this is all we have discussed about your Cisco certifications, importance of certifications. We have discussed about the career opportunities, importance of this subject, prerequisite, importance of doing Cisco while doing cloud, DevOps, security engineering, or SOC engineering. Okay, syllabus of your Cisco, and we have discussed about what all things can be done after completing your Cisco certification. Okay, so that is all we need to discuss in this particular topic. We are going to meet further again and again to understand more and more things. Okay, so if you want to get more details, if you want to get more information, you can connect our center, or you can connect with our counselors. They are going to help you in every way. Okay, you can visit the center to look at the lab, about the devices, about the setups. You can have a view over there, what all devices we are using to complete this certification, what are virtualization tools we are using, and many more things. Okay, so you need to visit. Okay, and once you visit, you will understand many more details about this. Your counselors will be connected to you. You can have a chance, like we can meet in personal, we can understand this subject in many more ways. Okay, so that is all about this session. Okay, so we hope, I hope personally that you have understood these many things. Okay, within this short period of time, I have tried to explain and give you detailed about this certification. Okay, so we will be having second part for this, and we will understand more about these certifications. Okay, so that is the end of a session. I hope this session was informative for you. You must have understood many things related to Cisco certification, about your further career tracks. We hope we can connect soon, and thank you for listening, and thank you for joining this session. And I really welcome you to SevenMentor. You can just come and you can visit, and you can have further discussions about your career opportunities related to networking. And I really mean, when I say that Cisco is a major topic, and I really mean by that word that it is really a subject which is going to give a breakthrough into an IT industry. Okay, so don't hesitate, don't keep on thinking what will be good, what will be bad. You just visit, and you just try to complete this certification, and after completing this certification you will by default understand like it is really very easy to start a career as a network engineer. But it's just not that easy. Like just starting a career is not going to be sufficient. You need to be keep upgrading. After upgradation of your Cisco, you can have, like as I said over here, after completing CCNA you have multiple options. Okay, so you can go with cloud, you can go with cyber security, you can go with your cloud security, you can go with AI security. There are multiple fields. Okay, so just don't worry, just start your career. And what I can say, like this is the best way to start your career, and this is the easiest way to start a career. And the syllabus what we have designed, or the syllabus what we are taking for CCNA, it is really very helpful. We have understood the requirement, we have understood like how that subject can be made easy, so we have resequenced it. Okay, so visit once and we can have more discussion on it. Okay, and that's it for the day, and thank you, and we will meet soon with more such informative videos. Okay, and that's it for the day. Okay, thank you so much.